So welcome to this tutorial. We'll be creating this object that you see on the screen here. So let's go. All right, so I thought this would be a fun, quick tutorial on creating some cool looking forms. This is something you don't need Xnorms for, just a normal patch and other things. So you should be able to use this with the basic Plasticity program. So let's go. All right, so first of all, I'm going to go ahead and go to the side view here. And it's going to be back to front. So I'm going to go ahead and create a disk. I'm going to go ahead and hit the snaps to grid here. And I'm just going to bring this out like 2 sections, so 4 feet, just for the understanding of what I'm trying to do here. And then I'm going to do a Shift D of this. So hit Shift D, and we'll bring this out a little bit about there. So those are your 2 forms. I'm going to create another form just to make it fun. And again, this will be a very quick tutorial. Just want to show you how to do some quick shapes. Hopefully this helps you, get quicker at what you're trying to do. So I'm going to go ahead and create this out about the same height and width. And I'm going to go ahead and select the points here and just select this one and hit the B key. And we're going to pull this out and let's go ahead and take the snaps off now. And we're going to make this nice and rounded so it has a nice edge to it. Something like that. Again, you can do some variations here, of course. So now that I got that created, I'm going to hit the G key and I'm going to move this over here. So I'm going to create this form. I'm going to do some interesting stuff to this as well. So let's continue to build this. So now that I got this shape here, I'm going to also go in and create some other details here. So I'm going to go something like this. And I think I'll go down a little farther than normal, and then something like that. And with that, I'm just going to go ahead and select these 2 points here, hit the B key. I'm going to make this nice and rounded as well. So something like that. Cool. Now that we got this line here, let's go and select it, and we can hit the mirror key. So first of all, select the line, hit the mirror. If it's not selecting, hit the F key. We'll bring it down, straight down. And now we got the 2 sides. Now what we can do is we can use the actual trim here. We can cut this out and cut this out. So what we can do is we can select this and we can pull out this way, something like that. There we go. Now that we got that selected, we can also now hit these 4 lines, this one, that one, and that one. Now just pull this out on the plus, make it nice and rounded. Cool. So basically I'm trying to get a nice shape from this. So now that we've gotten that, I can go in here and now select this one, hit the Alt key, and we can delete it. Something else I'm going to do here is I'm going to split this in half. What I want to do also, just for understanding, is I'm going to take this and also we're going to extrude this. So we're going to go backwards, hit OK. And again, same thing, hit this line here and delete it. All right, so now that I got this selected, I'm going to also select this one too. Do the same thing, hit the E key. We're going to go backwards. All right, so go ahead and extrude this out like that, hit OK. Now we can actually select this line here and also delete this. Okay, cool. Now we got these all kind of defined. I could actually now go in and select this face and this face, and we can hit the Shift X here to delete that. All right, so let's go to the top view here. I'm going to pull a line all the way out from here to there. I'm going to start working with surfaces on this. Now we got this selected. I'm going to go ahead and select these sections and hit the cutter, which is this right here. Hit OK. And same thing with this one. Hit the cutter and hit this one. Hit OK. Now we can get this section and hit the Shift key, and we can delete all 3 at the same time. So there we go. So that is that. So what we can do now, since we got this all kind of formed out, we can now go in and select these lines here, which is going to make sure we get all of them round, right? And this form here. And now we can actually hit the L key to loft. So this will make a nice clean pull on this section here, and it comes together in a really nice form. So there we go. So that is how we create that. Now we can go in and first hit the OK button. Select this. We can actually hit the Shift X on this one because this was the extra part. Go ahead and delete this. All right. And now what we can do is we can select this, hit the Alt key and Shift this, and let's go and deselect all these other ones. And again, hit the L to loft. Now we got G1 all the way around. Hey, just real quick, wanted to make sure everyone knows that I have 2 new classes available on Gumroad right now. Their first one is totally free, which goes over the UI and tooling for beginners, and is a full course on creating this thumb drive by P&Y. This class goes from beginning to end, so a great starter class for beginners. The second course that is available is creating this really cool Bork blow dryer, which is a production design model. This is also from beginning to end in creating this awesome model. This will go over some more advanced modeling skills, but light enough for beginners to intermediate learning. Both of these classes will help jumpstart your learning in this great program. So the links will be in the description below. Okay, back to the video. All right, so now I've got these sections here. Let's go ahead and select all 3 of these. And we're going to hit the actual J key to merge them together. Cool. Now we can go in and deselect this one and just delete it, because that was not part of the original form. All right, so we got that part done. So now we got a really nice shape, which would be really hard to do in any other program, to create this kind of curvature and make it exactly what we wanted. So let's take these lines out, right? And we can also select this. And we can put this on this version here and see what that looks like. Looks really nice, very smooth. And of course we can put the lines in here to see what that looks like. Very nice forms. That's one way to make this sharp form into the soft form. Cool. So let's go and go back, and we'll go and select the red here. I just select the red. This looks nice. And what we can do now is create a handle. So let's do that. So I'm going to create the handle on top. And bring this back over here. And I'm going to bring it right around here. Something like that. I'll also use the S to squish it. One great thing about this tool, you can make some really cool shapes, just like that. And we go to the side here. We hit the G key. We're going to bring this down like this. Hit the OK. Now what I can do here is select this shape or this face and extrude it. So we're going to extrude it all the way up, right? And what we're going to do also on this specific shape is we're going to rotate this. So we hit the OK. We can hit the R key. We can rotate this like, I would say 30 degrees. You can type that in, 30, just to make it the right shape. Cool. And now we can actually hit I think this is perfect where it's at. I think the handle is a great selection. And what I can do now is select this object here. Select this, go to the front face here, use the cutter. And now we actually have this piece we can delete, right? And the next thing would be to cut. So we can actually select this line, hit the G key, we'll move it up, and we can just get rid of that piece inside here. There's no need for this. And again, we can select this object here, use the cutter, use this here, and just cut that away. So it's out of our way. Now, this is a pretty cool form, and I want to kind of connect this into this unit here. Now, to do this properly, my suggestion would be to actually go in here, make sure you're on the side view here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually, I think I'm going to bring this down just a little bit more, G key. And I'll bring it out just a little bit more. So one thing that's going to cause us a lot of problems is this is so deformed here. It will cause a lot of issues with this piece here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and select this and move this down a little bit more. Again, if I don't do this, we're going to have some problems trying to reconnect this thing. So I'm going to put this past these sections here. Otherwise, we're going to have just a lot of headaches trying to connect this. So once I move that over there, I'm good with that. And it's okay with the form. Now that I got that, I'm going to go ahead and select this as well and just hit the G key, and I'm going to move this downward. Now I want this to still cut into this space or this piece here. And I want to bring it down a little bit. Now this is your center point right here, right? As long as it's below the base of this, you're good. If you're higher than that, it's going to cause it to maybe have bad forms. So I always try to squish it and then make sure that the center here is below the bottom line of the place I'm cutting. All right, so now that I got that, let's go ahead and cut this out. So select this, go ahead and hit the cutter, this one, and just cut it. Now we can just delete it with the delete key. Cool. And now let's go ahead and also maneuver with this. We can cut this piece out here. And again, we're just going to use this to help form some things. So go ahead and select that object, hit the cutter, hit this piece, hit OK. Cool. Now we can delete this again, just like that. Now, one thing that will look really nice, we also got to take this into account, right? This needs to also be cut in half. So select this. This was our half piece here. So let's go and select this. I'm going to cut that in half, hit OK. And now we can actually delete both of those. Hit the delete key. And I also want to delete these faces here. I don't want any of these pieces here. So Shift X. And this one here, Shift X. And this one, Shift X. Okay, cool. So now we're just basically working with the faces is what we want. It just makes it much easier to work this kind of stuff. So what we can do now is we can select this and this. And we can actually use this to help us control the curvature here. So hit the F key. And normally you'd have to do search for bridge edge, but I have it here. So I'm going to select that. The G2 is fine. I think that's perfect. I don't want to go too much with that. And same with this one. This and this go in that direction. Again, hit the F key, BR. And I'm good with that shape too. Nice and smooth. Now what I do need to do is I need to also add in some more detail to help control this. And to do that, we could select the face. I'm going to hit the Control R. And I'm going to hit the tab key because it's going the wrong way. I'm going to bring this down about here. This is kind of going to float into this, right? And then same thing here. Control R. Again, wrong way. Tab. And we'll bring this a little bit closer over here. Something like that. That's fine. Now here, select that again. Control R. And let's bring this in. So this one is going to be more like here, kind of match into this. And then here would be also Control R. And we'll bring this over here, just like that. So now these are going to basically connect. So let's go and do that now. So select this and this one. Again, F, BR, and there's your shape. And I'm good with that. I think it's going to be nice. And we hit the OK. Now let's go ahead and select this one and this one. Again, F, BR, bridge edge. And again, I'm good with the shape. So again, this is just a shape I've decided to create just for fun to show how this stuff works. All right, so let's go ahead and start working this. So I got all four of these now selected. Go ahead and select them all. Hit the E key, and we're going to bring this outward. We have to use this for controls for these things to form right. So what we're going to do is basically work the two sides and then the center last. And that's the best way to do these type things. So from my experience. So let's go ahead and hit delete key here. All right, so let's see how this is going to work. Select the bottom here. Select the shift, select this, and now that one. Let's go and hit the patch tool right there. Now, sometimes it does that. I don't know why. I think my system needs to be restarted, but anyway, let's go and select this again. This one, patch. There we go. Now, this one needs to be G1, so it has a nice form into the space. This has to be G1 because it's going to go into the other piece of the model on the opposite side. And this has to be G1 because it has to be smooth in here. This can stay at G0. Just keep that in mind. That way this stuff will work. And I could always do G1 later. So now that we got that created, now let's do this side. Same thing. Select this piece, this one, this little section here, this section, and this section. Cool. Hit the patch tool, and there we go. Now, as you can see, we got some little problems going on here, but let's hit the G1. There we go. That helped fix that. This is G1. G1. Again, we're going to keep this at G0. This has to be G1 too. So keep that in mind. Everything next going on this edge here, the center ones do not have to be. Hit OK. Now that's done. Let's go ahead and select the face tool. And let's select these 4 faces here. These are the ones that we kind of pulled out just for use of control. Hit the Shift X to delete those. Cool. Now that's looking really sharp. All right, cool. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and select the edge again. Select the bottom this time. This one, and this one. Again, patch. There we go. Now, G1, 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 and G1. Now everything is nice and smooth. Exactly what we wanted. Hit the OK button. Now, to see what we're looking at here, let's go ahead and right-click. Take off the edges, and let's see how this form is looking. We can also go here and check it out with this. And that is looking really sharp, really nice shapes. Kind of hard to do something like this on a regular 3D program. And it's real simple when it comes to plasticity, just knowing how to get around the tools. All right, so now that we've got this main shape, right, let's go ahead and we got selected. Make sure all these are selected here. And we're going to hit the mirror tool and let's do the opposite side and hit OK. Hit the J key so they merge. Now we got one face, basically a sheet. All right, it's coming together. Cool. Now, the fun part here, I would always save at a certain point because if you get hung up, then you can't go back. So save. And what I would suggest now is that we use the Alt key and use the line tool. So we can select this. I'm going to hit a cap again. And I'm good with that. And one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this a nice hard edge. I don't want this to be too rounded, but just a little bit. So I'm going to pull this out just a smidgen on the plus. Just to give it a highlight there. Not too much. There we go. Cool. Same thing with the bottom. Select the bottom. You can get rid of these ones here. And hit the patch. Cool. Hit OK. And now we can actually hit the line here. Hold the Alt. Let's pull this out a little bit. Make it nice and smooth there. I think that looks nice. And then the front, same thing. Hit the Alt key. And again, hit the patch. And we're good with that. And then here, again, hold the Alt key. We'll pull this out again on the plus. Make it nice and smooth. There we go. So what we can do now is we can give it some more fun shapes. We can actually, we can just add in some other detail here. So let's go ahead and select this. Hit the Shift D. We can actually scale this down like that. G key, bring it out a little bit. We can actually go back in and say, okay, hit the face and extrude, and we can bring this in, right? And then once that's in, we can do this, Q, hit OK. So now we got an inner piece here. We can also select this and bring this out with a kind of this one would be a chamfer. And then we can hit these inner lines here, and pull this out, just make it nice and smooth inside. And again, this could be anything. It could be a blow dryer, it could be anything. I would suggest that you would have something here as well to give it some characteristics. So in this section here, I would copy this by hitting Shift D. And we can hit SS, bring this down just a little bit. like that. Hit OK. And now that we got this, we can hit G key and move this over a little bit. There we go. And I think we can go back to the view here. I think we're going to do with the scale here, but this time just on the Z. Hit OK. Again, sometimes you can't see. Put those edges on. Scale again. Bring this down just a smidgen. I think that's good right there. Hit OK. Now I can do is do this and hit the extrude, and we can go in to the space. Hit OK. And what I can do here is just take this and take this, hit the Q, and then Shift Q this time. And we can say OK. We can take this piece here and delete it. And then we can actually add in a inner piece here. Just kind of pull it out. So it has a nice edge there. And same thing here. Now pull this out just a little bit. Just like that. Just give it some variations, you know, of your shape. And it just looks better that way. Now, I think that looks really cool. Easy to make shapes like this. Anyway, I just want to show you how to create shapes. I hope this helps. Please leave some comments if you have any questions. Please subscribe so I can continue to make these things. I thought this would be kind of interesting. The shapes here to make something like that would be difficult to do. And then, yeah, just subscribe. Thanks.